Here with me in Shop HQ, and tonight we're going to be doing Invicta. So we have 4 different watches that I'll be going through here tonight and just see what you think about it. Some great prices are going along. Now, as always, be sure to be, if you don't follow Shop HQ already, please give them a follow on social media. It's Shop HQ, very, very easy. Instagram, Facebook, follow them on YouTube, Twitter, X, Snapchat, everything out there. So, and be sure to follow me. I am the Ryan Code, and that's on Instagram. Facebook, it's still technically Invicta Ryan, but it'll be changing over here when I can get that figured out. So a couple housekeeping items real quick. Oh, and remember, make sure to check out, I'll just say this, make sure to check out my Instagram page right after the show, the Ryan Code. Definitely, there's something there you want to see. So a couple other housekeeping items is that there is a sweepstakes going on with Shop HQ, and guess what? It's for a $250 Shop HQ credit. Who wouldn't want that? I'd want it. And all you need to do to be able to enter in to win a $250 Shop HQ credit is simply make a comment here on one of the pages, whether you're online at shophq.com, watching this live stream, Facebook or Instagram, and or also YouTube. So who wouldn't pass up $250? I'll tell you, I wouldn't. I don't think I can, unless Harry says I can, qualify. I'll type in "Hi Ryan" or whatever here on the live stream. Why not? So I'll see what he has to say. Ken, thank you for joining the show and commenting. You are now entered into that $250 Shop HQ credit. I don't really think there are any additional, just looking here, notes that I have to say. The next live stream will be this Wednesday, I believe. Let me just double check my calendar. I think that's it. Today is the 14th. Yes. So this coming Wednesday, and that is the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Same time, just in 3 days from now. All right. Well, we are going to kick off here the live stream with the first watch that we have. Let me get over to my notes here. Okay, well, what we're looking at, it's a bigger timepiece. And so I remember presenting something similar to this before from Invicta. If you're not familiar with Invicta by chance, maybe you're not. I know a lot of people are. Hi, Tim. Thank you for being a part of the show. Tony, thank you. It's good to be back. I'm just looking at a couple of the comments here right now. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for being here too. So if you don't know about Invicta, Invicta's been a brand that has been around since 1837. They're all about exceptional quality, craftsmanship, and design at affordable prices. Actually, in Latin, Invicta means invincible. So there are 4 different watches here today that I'll be presenting here during this live stream. And this first one, it's a 50 millimeter, so it's a little bit bigger watch, probably the biggest watch out of the other brands that I've had here at Shop HQ, which has been a lot of fun to be able to present Invicta and also a lot of the other brands. Make sure to check out the website here too, and also what Shop HQ has for deals coming up every single day. All right, well, let's take a look at the first one. This is from Invicta's Specialty Collection. So the Specialty Collection is a wide variety of different designs that come from Invicta. I'll try to, there we go. That seems like to be a little bit better. I have so many lights in here too for my little mini studio. Really can't see, but you're getting into more of a diver style rounded case design where the lugs actually dip down here, and that's where the bracelet is then incorporated in. You can see with the bracelet, it's all done in gunmetal, and then there's a high polish that goes through the middle. Now, let's talk about some numbers. The regular Shop HQ price, regular Invicta price, is $895. That has been slashed down 91%, down to $79.99. Now, there are 3 different color choices. However, one color sold out, the gold tone sold out, but there is a rose tone version available, and it's all monochromatic. This version right here, it's not black, it's actually referred to as gunmetal, so it's a little bit lighter color, just slightly lighter than black. And I like to say it's in between silver tone and a black ionic plating, but definitely closer on that scale. It's not right in the middle. I'd say it's more closer to that black color that you get, but definitely a cool look. Now, monochromatic means we're looking at the bracelet, the case, the bezel, and even the dial. are all that same color in this gunmetal or that rose tone version. Now what we have on the inside is a VD52 from Time Module Inc. So that's going to give you your 24-hour scale. And then also, in addition, a chronograph that's going to be up here for your seconds and your minutes over at that 3 o'clock position, which is just a little bit different than a lot of the other different chronograph versions here from Time Module Inc. Right down at the very bottom of the dial, that's going to be then your calendar date of the month. The bandwidth, 26 millimeters. That's up here. It's going to taper down to about 24 millimeters. So just a slight taper that's going to go down. So as I mentioned before, the case size is 50 millimeters. That's when we measure from right here at 10 o'clock over to 4 o'clock, excluding that function pusher right there. So that's just under 2 inches, and the overall profile is just under a half of an inch. So what that is, it's 12.5 millimeters. About 13 millimeters is an inch. Now the bracelet's pretty generous on this watch. It will fit up to, let me just double check. It's 9.75, I think that's correct. Let's just see here really quick. If you guys have any questions, oh yeah, this is bigger timepiece. Cheryl, thank you. Will, John, hello. Thank you for being here, tuning into the show. Yep, so definitely larger bracelet. As you can see, it's not 10. If the bracelet came down to that bold line right there, that's a 10-inch mark. So we're looking here at that 9 3/4 inch wrist size that this watch can actually accommodate. So a wide variety of wrist sizes. I know some of you have the bigger wrists out there and you're looking and you want to make sure. I'm just trying to give you all the accurate information so you can make that best decision and not have to return something if we say that the watch will fit up to that 9-inch wrist and really it fits up to about an 8-inch wrist, and get it home, you have to send it back, take the time to do it. So, all right, well, this watch too, a couple other things. We have a mineral crystal on it, so it's going to be that really hard crystal that's going to be a part of the timepiece, and also 50 meters of water resistance, which basically means you can take the watch and do some swimming with it. But, you know, we have there's another watch here that I'll be presenting that's more appropriate if you want to be in the water quite a bit. But the reason why I like this watch, or the reasons, I mean, it's that monochromatic color. I mean, pretty cool. And definitely a big, bold size. Now, I would wear something like this on my wrist. Actually, this would potentially be my watch of the day because I have on these black jeans, I had on some black sneakers, black jacket, because it's cold as heck here in Minnesota right now. And just this black sort of like top I have on. So it just goes that whole theme here of going with that black, that gunmetal and everything. So just a real go-to color for so many. So, all right, well, let's move on here. And let me just look at the comments real quick. Papa Will, good to see you. John Urban, hey, nice to see that name again. Papa Will, any available Bolt Zeus automatic? I don't believe so currently on ShopHQ's website. Good question, but you can always check back because I know the buyer, Jordan. He's working behind the scenes, working with Invicta and also the other brands to just bring more and more and more so you guys have a bigger choice of what to do. And actually, it's fun for me too because I get to be able to present different watches all the time. So definitely check that out. All right, well, we're going to go to the next watch. Remember I said if you want to watch it, you can actually go in the water and you want a watch that is actually going to be just really suitable, in my opinion, for so many different occasions. I have referenced this watch as really the lifeblood of Invicta, the heartbeat of Invicta. It's really the design that they have built their business on here for the last couple of decades since they actually had their, since they actually came back out of dormancy. And it is a Pro Diver. It's a Pro Diver automatic, 200 meters of water resistance, and there are 3 different color variations. So the color I have here is considered the black red, and it's going by the bezel. Now there is a blue option, which is blue bezel, full blue dial, or otherwise there's a black version. And that black version is going to be exactly like this watch, except the lower half of the bezel is also going to be black. So well, here, let's talk about the numbers. Typically, $695 is the regular retail price for this watch. And ShopHQ has brought it down 81%, down to $129.99. Remember what I said too, is be able to check out my Instagram immediately after the show. Now there are 3 color options. I said this is the black red. There's also a blue, and there is a black. Now, this, as I mentioned, my first Invicta watch was the same design as this case. It was a lighter blue. It was a lighter blue bezel and a lighter blue dial, and it had that center link was actually played with that 18 karat gold. Still have that watch. It's just truly amazing. So this watch, 200 meters of water resistance. So if that's something you want to go in the water with, this is the watch out of all 4 watches we're showing here tonight, or I'm showing you. This is the watch that you want to have. So 40 meters or 40 millimeters of for the design of the watch, for the overall case diameter. Now that is a real traditional size, classic gentleman size, modern lady size. I believe everybody can wear this timepiece. Here's what it looks like on my wrist. So I have a just under a 7-inch wrist. You can see how that looks. What I like too, a couple things, is the dial is extremely clean on this timepiece. So you can easily read the time. You'll be able to see all you have is your hour, minute, and second hand, and then you have then your little open heart right over at that 9 o'clock position, which, let me see if I can just show you here. You can actually see the heartbeat of the watch. Sorry, I'm just trying to see where I can point that. It's a little blurry there. Anyway, that's the heartbeat of the watch. Plus, you have this rotor on the back that will turn, and just with the general movement of your wrist, that will keep the watch wound up automatically. So that is what we refer to as that automatic movement. But technically, this movement is a mechanical automatic because you can unscrew the crown and it pops out to what's called position 1, and then you can turn that crown clockwise, and that will actually wind up the watch. That's the mechanical portion. So mechanical, automatic. Great movement out there, about a 41-hour power reserve. I believe this one has 24 different jewels on the inside. So all around, beautiful timepiece. 3 great color options. This is the most vibrant color option. That blue is very nice too, and that black, we'll just go with everything out there. The NH38A, it gives you the open heart movement here from Time Module Inc. Band is 20 millimeters. You have actually also too, when you're sizing the watch, these are called micro adjustments. And so you can take that spring bar and move it a little bit. If you have a link in and that watch just feels a little bit too loose in the wrist, you can then adjust in from this bracelet. You can adjust in, see it's on the second. You can go in 2 more or out 1 to really get that perfect fit and feel when you have this watch on. Mineral crystal on this timepiece, and this watch will fit up to about that 8 3/4 inch wrist size. Now let's see. Oh, look at this. Harry posted BOGO, 40% buy one, get one, 40% off watches. Pretty sweet deal. Let's see, John Urban says, love that open heart. I do too. I have at least a couple of those myself. Papa Will already mentioned about that Bolt Zeus, but yeah, beautiful timepiece. And here's one of the great things about Invicta. Here's one watch, here's a second watch, completely different in terms of the size, the profile on the wrist, the colors, the movement. So much is going along here with this. And okay, here's the next watch. Something for the ladies. So this watch is part of Invicta's, what they call their Angel Collection. This has been a collection for a number of years, probably about 20 years plus, because the women have always been very, very important to Invicta. In fact, back in October, it was the Invicta Maryland group was the sponsor of the first Invicta Women Collector Gathering out in Myrtle Beach. And I was privileged enough to get an invite and to spend the weekend with a lot of great collectors, both the women and their men, significant others and such like that. So women have always been extremely strong with Invicta, and I know Invicta really respects the women and what they have to say, and the watches and the collections they have, I have to tell you, are very, very impressive. And so like Denise out in California, Tanya, Deidre, a lot of female collectors out there just have some really fun, really exciting, and really impressive collections. Now, this watch design has been around for actually quite a while for Invicta. What you're getting into is a 38 millimeter, which is a fantastic size. In my opinion, it really falls in that realm of what a lot of women fall into for that modern lady size between 38 and 42. Now, women will wear larger watches, they'll wear smaller watches out there, but this is a real sweet spot, especially if you want to jump up into a little bit of a larger size. Now, the regular price on this watch is $395. Shop HQ said, you know what, let's take 86% off this timepiece and we'll bring it down to $54.99. Again, this is going to be the least expensive watch in the show. So $54.99 to be able to get into this amazing timepiece. Now, look at this. There are 6 different colors. Let me just tell you what they are. I have the pink right here. There's also a purple, an orange, a green, a gray, and also the blue. So really, really bold colors. Look at, Harry's showing the different colors on the screen. There's the purple there right now. So you get all of them have the white dial, but where you see the pink, that's where you're getting the purple. That's where you're getting the orange, the blue, the gray, all the different colors. Now, it's a rotating bezel, so you can actually use it and adjust time with it if you choose to do so. And along with it is the movement where you'll be able to see the 3 different subdials, and those give you different forms of information. One is the day of the week, one's a date of the month, and the other is a 24-hour scale. Now, beauty about this too is a silicone strap. The silicone strap, you can just twist it, you can turn it, it's lightweight, it's very comfortable on the wrist, and with these bold colors, definitely gives you some extra flair and some flash when you have this watch on the wrist. Be a great gift for you guys out there to give that special lady in your life a timepiece like this. Women that are watching right now, it'd be fun to be able to add to your collection and add that spirit of some fun color on your wrist. Now, as I mentioned, 38 millimeters in the case diameter, about 10.5 millimeters, so just under a ½ inch. That's rising up. As I mentioned before, the bezel can move, so that can be used as a timing device for this watch. You have more of that white dial with the silver tone subdials that have a bit of that sunray pattern on it. Now, this is that upgraded flame fusion crystal, so you have that hardness of a mineral crystal and the scratch resistance of a sapphire crystal all fused together to give you a really nice crystal that's going to be extremely hard to scratch and also crack. Now, it can happen on occasion. If you just bump the watch right, it does happen. In addition, Invicta, with all their watches, they're going to give you a 3-year warranty, and that's from your date of purchase. That would actually be on your invoice. Not when you receive the watch, but it's actually at that purchase date for 3 years. So let me see about any other comments here right now. Harry is talking. Hi, Teresa. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on the live stream. And in terms of what size wrist size that this watch will accommodate, we're looking at anywhere from about 5.5 up to about a 7.5 inch wrist. But again, remember, extremely comfortable. Look, I can take this strap and just wrap it around my finger. So just think about how comfortable it's going to be on your wrist. The movement is quartz, so you're not going to have to do any winding with this watch. It's going to hold a nice, accurate time and get you those different forms of information, and definitely clamor a lot of attention on your wrist with the different colors that are available. Beautiful timepiece. All right. Well, we're coming up to the last watch here of this presentation. And remember, check out my Instagram page immediately after the show, just a couple minutes after. I'll be doing a post or two just on my stories. And follow Shop. They have the 12 days of Christmas going on. And make sure, if you're on right now, Jerry Jones is here now too. Thank you, Jerry, for being a part. And just because Jerry said hi, Ryan, guess what? Jerry has entered into the sweepstakes for a $250 Shop HQ credit. If you're watching right now and you can be shy, just type in hi, Ryan, hi, Harry, hey, great to be here, whatever it is. If you type anything here on the comments, it's going to get you entered into that opportunity to be able to enter and potentially win that $250 Shop HQ credit. Okay, we're looking at the last watch of the evening, and we had a specialty from Invicta before, which is one of their many, many different collections. And this next watch is also a specialty. So if you're just tuning in, you missed that first watch. It was a monochromatic. We have a black or a gunmetal version and also a rose tone version. That's right here. So this is from a collection called the Specialty with Invicta, but it doesn't mean that it's only one design, one shape, one color and everything. They have multiple colors, but here, look at this. This watch is a completely different design, completely different shape, color, and materials. You have a metal bracelet here. You have a leather strap with this specialty version. And guess what? You have this beautiful embossing for this genuine leather strap, as it says on the back. Look at this. You don't only get this watch with the strap. This is the black strap. You're going to get a navy strap, and you're also going to get another set that is going to be brown. So these are probably about $25 at least. If you go to Invicta's website and you want to place an order for these straps, it's called the quick change pin system for them. So it's really easy. I'll show you in a moment how to change those out. Now, the regular price for this watch is $695. Shop HQ is like, you know what? 60% is enough. 70% is enough. We're going to bring it down 86% off that MSRP, and we're bringing it down to $94.99. Now, let's go through a few of the metrics. We talked about the timepiece, 43 millimeters. And in this watch, because it's that tonneau-shaped case, which is an expensive look on the wrist, that is, we're going west to east, excluding the crown, 43 millimeters. So along with that, then, we're looking at the overall profile of 12.5. That seems to be a theme today. 12.5 millimeters, so just under a half of an inch. It's coming up off the wrist. You can see the crystal too is just slightly domed on this watch, and it's that upgraded flame fusion crystal. Now, I love the fancy font. When you look inside the dial here, you get to see that fancy font for the Arabic numerals for 11, 12, and 1, and then 5, 6, and 7 just at the very bottom of the case here for the timepiece. And then you have 3 different subdials that are part of the chronograph or the stopwatch that's a part of this timepiece. So you can measure lapse time all the way up to the course of an hour by both the second, the minute, and tenth, and actually down to the 10th of a second. So very precise in terms of that. Now I see this watch as being anywhere from casual to dress up with this timepiece. And what Invicta has done is they plated the watch on the case and even the buckle here and the function pushers and crown with 18 karat gold. So it just gives you a little bit more of that sophistication here when you see this watch. Now look at this. You can change out from this black strap to a brown strap. Check that out. Completely different look. And then look at this dark blue, like this almost midnight blue. That can be a completely different look here on the wrist. So 3 different looks that you get with this design here tonight from Invicta. Now here's a question. Some of you might be asking, like, well, how do you change this? What tools do I need to do it? Here's a little tool right here. Mine are really short. It's a fingernail. And if you look right here, there's a little, it's called a quick change pin. Now all you do is you take your fingernail and you pull back on that pin and it releases the strap. Now when you change out the watches, make sure you always put the buckle end on the north side at the 12 o'clock position. So that's all you do. And then I call this the tail end of the strap that always goes on the bottom. So that's a way to remember everything. Now, I don't know if I can do this quite perfectly and just show you, but all you need to do is you see that little tiny hole right there? That's where the pin needs to go into. So you have to find that first, and I might need to put on my readers to see this. And there we go. So you get the first portion in, and then you just have to pull back on the pin, and then you're able to move around the strap in the leather or in that lug area. You just have to move it around. Oh, and it clicked. That's all you need to do. And then everything is locked into place here. I'll put this watch on my wrist so you can see this. Papa Will, this is a, this version is a quartz movement. And I have my collection of 7750 Russian Diver Auto. That's actually a really nice watch. I wore a 7750 myself today with a Sub-Aqua Noma 3. I'll show you real quick. This is my watch of the day. I chose Invicta to wear. Now this is not available on Shop's website. People always ask when I post, when is that coming out? It was made 15 years ago. They only made 100 of them and they're all sold. They're all taken. But I'll tell you, for the price of this timepiece, which I don't know, did I talk about that? Yeah, I did. $94.99 to be able to get into this watch. I think this is a fantastic deal. Out of all 3 watches, I think this is my pick here, or all 4 watches. This is my pick here tonight. Be able to get in. So be sure to check out Shop HQ's website. Use the code that Harry was giving you here on the live stream. But then also remember, check out my social media. Check out Instagram right after. Make sure you're following me and look at my stories here. Give me about 5-10 minutes after the show here and check it out. It's definitely going to be worth it for you. So outside of that, really, really happy that you are all here. Happy Hanukkah also to those of you who are celebrating. And the next live stream is going to be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So I'm actually traveling that morning, but I'll set up remotely here for that show. So looking forward to being a part here of continuous live streams here on Wednesdays, and just really appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you so much for tuning in. All right, enjoy your evening. Reach out to me on social media or on my social media if you have any questions, and I'll chat with you soon. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a part of the live stream.